Hey everybody, it is me, Undead Viking, and this game is called Load, or what it stands for is Legend of Ancient Defenders. Load pits two sides of combatants against each other. One side is the Guardians of Atlantis, and the other side is the Agents of Chaos. The Chaos is trying to bring about the end of the world, and Atlantis is trying to save it. Each player, and you can play with more than two players, but it is predominantly a two-player game. Each player or team will take one of those sides. They will recruit a band of heroes, and then they will fight against each other. Now, this is a MOBA game, a type of game I didn't even know existed until like about 6 months ago. Basically what this game is basically you have these units that are called creeps that move slowly forward. They creep forward on the battlefield, and then you have heroes that have all these special powers and abilities. So it is a very tactical game. It has a lot of variable player powers and a lot of cool stuff going on as well. Now I'm going to show you how to play the game, but I just want to say one other thing really quickly here. There is a bit of controversy going on about this game. I've been contacted by a few people who asked me my opinion about that, and frankly, I don't really have one. And I know that sounds a little bit like a cop-out, and I do apologize, and you can definitely take me to task for that if you will, but I don't know enough about the background of the game to really know exactly what's going on. And I'm really not going to talk about that right now. This review is about the game. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm going to talk about the miniatures, I'm going to talk about how the game is played, and whether or not I had fun with it. And I did have a lot of fun with it. Now, I do invite everyone who watches this video to go ahead and investigate this, the game and the controversy that's surrounding it. And if you want to go ahead and look into that and make up your own mind as far as how you feel about the game itself. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Basically because I'm a reviewer. I'm not a controversy guy. And like I said, I realize that a few of you might have a problem with the fact that I am reviewing this, or with ethics or what have you. And I appreciate that opinion, and I understand the way you feel. And if you wish to contact me, you can email me easily or contact me via YouTube or BGG or whatever, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's show you how to play Load. Alright, so this is Load, and I am going to show you how the game is played here in just a brief moment. But this is a miniatures game, and obviously I have said in many reviews that if a game is good, it doesn't matter how the components look or what have you. This game is good, and I had a lot of fun with it, but I will fully admit that when you have really awesome miniatures, really awesome games become even better. So I'm not going to be able to show each and every mini to you. But I mean, like here, this is one of the heroes. This is a guy called Krylock. And like you can tell, and as I mentioned before in the introduction, that these are indicative of what the final miniatures are going to look like. This is not a resin mini that was sent. This is the final creation that I purposely asked the creator of the game about that, and yeah, he assured me that this is the final articulation. How beautiful these miniatures look is how the game is going to look when it comes out. So these are pretty amazing looking miniatures. Here's another hero. This is the Night Crawler, some sort of gargoyle-ish guy. You can kind of see the high detail and everything. And I apologize for the light in the room here. You know, the shadows and stuff might not be showing everything, so I apologize for that. But these miniatures are absolutely stunning. This is a pretty cool one. This is a hero called Blip and Blaine. You can kind of see there's this little goblin right there, and he's got this big giant howitzer, and then there's this big like ogre-ish like guy. I apologize, it's not really in focus, that like covers his head and his ears while they shoot the big cannon or whatever. Kind of a cool little mini. And this one is a guy called Turtleback, which is he is a like little warrior here guy that obviously is a turtle. He's got the armor in the back, big giant weapon there, big giant weapon there. You know, pretty cool looking dude. And this guy would be Wart. and this is an assassin, like a warthog assassin, and and that's kind of cool too. Just the actual like ideas they have for the heroes themselves are really cool. And I'm not going to show everything here, but just as with these types of games, these mobile games, you have these creeper lanes where these monsters are going to move in these lanes, and so I just want to kind of show you, like, here's just like a standard Atlantean creeper, cool looking like snake dude with the spear here, and it's kind of neat, right? And here's something that's cool about this. I wanted to show this to you. So, admittedly, it might not have taken too much effort to do this, but you do get two different sculpts. I mean, you see how they're holding it in different hands, and these are like the same unit. But they actually did that. You know, they went to the process of like making two different sculpts, and they made two different sculpts for the Chaos guys too for that level. But anyway, so I wanted to show you this guy. I like this guy. This is Thrasher, and you can see Thrasher is, you can see the little goblin head in there. He's got like, it's like a wood golem or a wood mech being controlled by this goblin, and he's a hero as well. And okay, one more hero, and then we'll actually talk about how the game is played. This is Vishara, and she is a fire mage, and you can see she's got her little pet like dragon serpent coiled around her as well. And so, you know, and the thing is that these heroes, they're drafted by each player. There isn't a designated hero for each side. So if you're going to be playing Chaos, you don't only play the Chaos heroes. All the heroes are kind of like mercenaries or whatever that just decide to side with you for whatever reason. Now, I don't know why they side with Chaos since they're trying to destroy the world, but whatever. The heroes have their reasons, right? All right, so cool. All right, so this is a very simple game. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different variable player powers and everything like that. So the actual tactics of being able to play the game and understand what you're doing and being able to be successful at it is difficult. But as far as understanding the flow of a turn, as far as understanding the mechanisms, this game is very straightforward. And if you've played games like this, I think you'll take to this one pretty quickly. So the whole point of the game is that you'll see that there's these buildings. There's these towers here, and there's these spawn points here. Towers have 8 health, spawn points have 5. And your whole goal in this game is you're trying to destroy 3 of these buildings of your opponents, because each one gives you a point. And so for each one you kill, you get 1 point. As soon as you get 3 points, you've won. You could destroy 3 towers, and that would be enough. You could destroy 2 towers and a spawn point. That would be enough. So just keep that in mind. That is your goal of the game. You're going to have your basic units, your creeps, your creepers that basically move straight forward, and they can only stay in these lanes. Whoops! They can only stay in these lanes that have the rectangles. They can't ever move around. Your heroes are the really mobile units. They're going to be able to move around the board and you know, have a lot more mobility as far as their options, and they get to move up to 3 spaces. You can use extra actions to move more. I'll get more into that stuff here in just a little bit. But the creeps, they move unless they have what's called a runner creep in the group. They will move up to 2 spaces. So you can move 1 if you want, you can move 2 if you want, but that's all you can do. If you have a runner creep, since I'm talking about it, runner creeps just basically allow you to move as far as you want until you either run into enemies, which means because creeps can't move into a spot that has an enemy unit, because basically as soon as they're able to attack, they have to stop. And so then they're prepared to attack. They can't keep moving forward. So they either, if they run into an enemy unit as they're moving here, like this, and these creeps were here, they wouldn't be able to move anymore because they'd have to be able to go through the attack. If at the beginning of your turn, you start in a spot that you're able to attack, at that point, you don't get to move at all. You're just going to go with your attacks. That also goes for when they get close to buildings. So, like, if they're a space away from a building, they will have to fight. And oh, why don't I just show you one more miniature? I'll show you like a creep for the chaos. It's like these cool little like serpent dudes. Here, I'm gonna probably try to show you a little better. But yeah, so you know, little spikies on the back. And once again, like I said, just really, really well done as far as the miniature goes. I'm looking forward. I'm gonna back this. I'm gonna look forward to getting a copy because I'm going to tell myself that I'm going to paint these, and then I'll never get around to it. So I know that, going full well into it. And some of these miniatures actually are really cool. Like, you know, like this guy. I mean, I could just see, like, using this guy in my D&D campaigns and stuff like that. So obviously the miniatures could, you know, go around. This guy's pretty cool too. All right, I gotta stop showing these miniatures. I'm not gonna get to the gameplay or whatever. All right, so all the turns are gonna take the exact same order. Chaos always goes first, and then the Atlantis follows. And so there's three phases. There's the reinforcements phase, there's the aggression phase, and there's the hero phase. Now, the only difference is at the very beginning of the game, you start with 3 basic creeps in each of your spawn points, and no heroes are on the board yet. And so you refresh your mana pool to 8. I'm not going to collect the tokens, but you might see those blue tokens over there. Those are these guys right over here. Those are mana tokens, and you're always gonna you replenish up to 8. So there's no reason to save them because it just helps. And I'll explain what mana is used to use the powers of your heroes, and I'll show you a hero card here in just a little bit. And then you give each hero 1 gold. And as long as it isn't the first turn, what you do is you will spawn 2 basic creeps in each of your spawn points, and you get 1 free special creep. And basically, the 3 different special creeps you have are skirmishers, quick guys, and basically tanks. And so here, I'll just show you quickly here. And once again, like I said, I wasn't going to show you this stuff, but alright, so here's like a chaos tank guy, a big giant with a bunch of armor, weapon or whatever. Here is, if I'm the speed chaos guy here. And, just like guy ready to pounce, if you will. And they do have pictures of all of these minis as well. The company, on the Kickstarter page and things like that, and also the BGG page. So you might want to check it out. And here's a skirmisher, and these are the chaos ones, right? So pretty cool. Anyway, so you get to pick one special guy for free, and that you add to one of your groups of 2 that you put out. But for 3 gold, if a hero has 3 gold and wants to spend it, you can spawn another one, and you could spawn another one too, for 3 gold. So you could put your special guys out there. Just quickly speaking, just so you know, regular creeps, if they attack, they can attack 1 space away. When they attack, they roll 1 die, and they hit on a 4 or better, and they'll do a point of damage if they hit. The tanks do the exact same thing, but they have 2 hit points instead of 1, and those 2 hit points have to be done in a full attack to take them out. So just keep that in mind. They can't, like, you're not going to put a damage token on a creep. The skirmishers, same exact thing as everything, but they get to roll 2 dice, so they have a chance to get 2 hits when they attack. And the quick guys, I already told you with the quick guys, they basically allow you to move farther down the lane that you're on. And so, and you're going to lose your creeps constantly. They're going to get beat up. They're going to get killed. And so, don't worry about not having enough creeps to spawn. You could theoretically, run out of the special ones, but they'll get killed quickly too. So don't worry about having too many, like not having enough of them in your reserves. If you honestly can't spawn the creeps, you're doing so well you don't even have to worry about the spawn phase at that point. So, all right. So after you handle the spawning of everything, then, during the aggression phase, what will happen first is, as I said, remember, chaos goes first. You activate your towers. Towers are these spots. They have a range of 2, and they can attack, and you're going to pick if you had, like, a hero within range of, and 2 is just you count 2 spaces. So you can go 1, 2. That's 2 spaces. So so that would be 2 spaces and so forth. So, and notice how, like, you couldn't reach this guy with both towers. You can't go 1, 2, 3. So, but towers are just, they attack how you would, everybody else. You're going to roll 6-sided dice for each of your towers, and then you pick the target, obviously, for the tower, and then you're just going to go ahead and roll the dice and try to hit. They have a range of 2. They roll 4 dice, and they hit on a 3 or better. So, like, if this guy was here, you roll 4 dice, and as that hero, and then you roll and see what we get here. And then we get a 6-5 and a 2-2. So you get 2 hits. And it's possible that the hero might have some, defense or whatever that would absorb some of the hits or what have you. But then you just go ahead. And I'm going to show you another figure I'm going to show you. Here's the Medusa Archer. She's pretty awesome, too. Just kind of look at that. I love that scabbard. Not the scabbard, the quiver by her side. Yeah, I like that. And then the bow has a lot of articulation on it that looks really cool. And of course, and the thing is that what I like about this miniature, as I'm going on or whatever, is how it's all kind of front heavy. You know, if you look at the miniature, like, she isn't in the base, but it isn't, like, it's weird. It's like, it's still pretty centered as far as the weight. It doesn't topple, so something that's pretty cool. Anyway, so then after each person activates towers, so like Chaos activates their towers, and then the Team Atlantis will activate their towers. And then you will go on to, you move your lane creeps. So once again, like, you move 1 or 2, and so Chaos will move, and then Atlantis will move. And then if you are in range to attack, like with lane creeps, like they can attack that tower, or, if these 2 are here and here, Chaos gets to attack with their lane creeps first, and then the Atlantis attacks with their lane creeps, and then you finally get to your hero phase. And so during your hero phase, Team Chaos will activate each hero. At the beginning, of the game, you're not going to have your heroes, so you get to activate each one. You place them in a spawn point. They can move up to 3 spaces, and so 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, or whatever. And I'll explain what these spaces here in the middle are in just a second. But you're going to move 3 spaces with your heroes. You can move less if you want to, but as soon as you stop and decide to make your attack, you can't go back to your movement. And then you're going to make attacks with your heroes. Now that's a perfect segue, so I can just kind of show you a hero card here. So each hero is going to have a hero card, and you're just going to use this. You're going to put those in front of you. See how I got these and those over there? You have these hero cards, and they kind of have a name. So here's Eli Ironsmith. He has 7 hit points. His basic attack is he's going to roll 3 dice. He's going to roll 2 dice, and on a 3 or better, it's going to work. And you might not be able to see that, so I'll get that closer. And it has a range of 2. That's what that means there. And then he has these special abilities, and this is the mana cost for him. So 3, 2, or 8. Remember, you only get 8 mana. So like Thunder God, instantly KO all creeps on the game board. Thunder God does not receive gold for KOing the creeps. So you just take out all the creeps on the game board. So it's a pretty powerful ability. Obviously, you just want to clean house. Or like Discharge, adjacent attackers receive 2 damage, and then apply the number of hits. Lightning Strike, apply the number of hits rolled to each model and objective on the target field. So you pick a field, you roll the damage, and so that's pretty straightforward. Now, there's a couple of things that are kind of weird as far as when you're attacking with heroes. If you are using a non-skill ability, so if you aren't using one of the abilities that's down here, you can, like, so when you attack a spot, so let's just kind of, I'm going to just create a situation. So, let's use Krylock here. And Krylock, if Krylock was there, and, if Krylock was here, let's say, and there were these 2 creeps on there, and we had a hero on there, like from the Chaos. Actually, we can't use Krylock because Krylock is on that side. Let's use. All right, there we go. Perfect. So we got Thrasher. Now, if Thrasher used a weapon that he picked up, an item, which I'll explain also in just a second, but if he used a weapon and attacked, he would, depending on the number of hits he got, he'd have to divvy them up in a certain way. And so what happens is that he has to, with a weapon, either the weapon that like is your basic weapon. Here, I'll actually show you Thrasher here. So if Thrasher used his basic weapon here, the Lashing Twigs, you know, he's got a range of 1, rolls 5 dice, and a 5 or better that hit. So if you rolled, let's say he got 5 hits, like he got just great roll, he'd be able to, he has to take out these guys first, the creepers. And for every 2 creeps you kill in a single attack, you get 1 gold as a reward. If you can knock out a hero, basically, or kill them or whatever, they aren't knocked out forever. They aren't killed because you just put a token that shows that they've been, you know, they've been knocked out. Like these little tokens. I'll explain that also in a second. When they do that, you get 3 gold for doing that. So killing things gets you more gold. More gold gets you more creeps on the board, and also lets you buy this equipment. Once again, talk about that in a second. And so, so if he did that, he would take these 2 guys out first, and then he'd have the option of either attacking the hero or attacking the objective, attacking the tower instead. If you use a skill here, you know, like one of these instead of one of these, you have to attack the hero first. So you don't have the option of attacking the objective. Now, as I said, each hero gets 2 general actions after they've decided they're done moving. Remember, you can't go back to moving your standard move up to 3 spaces when you decide you're going to start doing general actions. You can use a weapon that you have for 1 general action. You can attack twice if you're within range. So if Thrasher attacked once and didn't kill the hero, he can attack again. You know, as if he happened to be in that spot. You can activate an equipped item. Not all items need a general action to equip. Depends on the item. It'll say so on the item. Once again, I'm getting to that in just a second. Then you can activate one of your skills, and each skill can only be performed once per turn. But a lot of the, as you see, all the heroes have 3 different skills on them, so you can activate those, and several of them, as long as you have the mana to do it. Remember, you get to activate all 5 of your heroes, and remember, you only get 8 mana, so you might be planning and tactically making out your turns pretty carefully with that. You can spend a general action, move it to 2 extra fields. So like you move your 3, you could spend 1 general action to move 2 more fields if you so desire. And you can do that twice. So you could just move. You move 3 and then 2 and then 2. And then if you had been knocked out or slain or whatever you want to call it, instead of doing any of those actions, when you get knocked out or killed or whatever as a hero, you have these tokens that show that one side has the 2 X's on it. I may not be able to see that. Hold on, I apologize. So it has 2 X's. So you put that on there at first, and then the next turn, the first turn you flip it over. After you've activated all your heroes, you'll flip that over to show that he's got 1 turn left, and then the next turn you're going to remove it, and then that means that they can enter into the combat after that happens. So, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's cool that you can bring your heroes back, but obviously having them out of the action for as long as that goes is a severe detriment. So you want to keep your heroes alive as much as you want, as much as you can. You don't want to, and also because if they get killed, you give gold to the other players, so that's always something as well. So, alright, so you can purchase items, and there's going to be 9 items out at any given time. When somebody buys one, you're going to draw another one from these little piles over here. And then each hero will have these icons here telling you what you can wear. So this is heavy armor and 2-handed weapons. In comparison, like here is like a magic item or like a miscellaneous item. This is light armor, for example. And then the items themselves will just have those icons on there, so you don't have to guess. So like here is Focus Stone, and then you can add 2 dice to any skill roll. And this up here, it means it costs 5 gold to purchase that. And so here's like here's armor. So here you go. This is heavy armor. And then you can see there that it has a 4 or better, and you get to roll 3 dice. So if you hit with attacks, you roll 3 dice. For every roll of 4 or better, the Warplate will protect you from 1 damage. Here, this is a Mystic Shield. And so you add, when it says add, you get that as an ability as well. So ignore up to 2 additional hits when attacked with a skill. So that's because it's like a magical weapon or whatever. And then here's like another weapon. Here's like a big 2-hand weapon, the Eviscerator. You get to roll 6 dice, 3 or better hits, re-roll any one. So if you roll 1, you get to re-roll it. And then notice how it's 9 gold. This is a pretty good weapon though. And then on a 6, you will knock the an opposing hero down. If you knock opposing hero down, there are these status symbols that show knockdown or immobile, which is let's see here, like that's immobile. This is immobile, I can see. This is blind. If you're blinded as a hero, then whenever you roll the dice, you -1 for your die roll. Here, I'll find a knockdown here. Hold on. I know there's one in here, because I put them in here. Oh, wait. I apologize. Like this, so if it's a knockdown, you are going to... And I blanked on that. I apologize. That's a knockdown, and when you knock down an opponent, then they only get to use 1 general ability on their turn instead of 2. Basically, they're using one of their general abilities to kind of come to their senses or what have you. So, all right. If you do destroy one of the towers, you put one of these, or spawn, you put one of those tokens on there, and then that shows that they've been destroyed. Basically, you can't rebuild those, so you just kind of have to keep that in mind. The only other thing I should mention that is very important, actually, is I mentioned these like spots here, these like forest spots in these locations. Now creeps can never go in there because they have to go straight forward, right? But heroes obviously have a lot more mobility and they're going to go through these spots. Every spot that you enter into these locations forces you to draw a card from this big deck that's this forest deck. And in this deck, there is both good things and bad, and you have to experience them. Some things like are these like our forest creeps that you have to fight, and so then you have to try to defeat them. If you do, though, and they get to attack first, they attack the hero first, and then you roll the damage, whatever. So it can be pretty dangerous going in there. But when you attack back on your turn, if you kill them, you get the gold reward that's located up here. After 1 round of combat, they just vanish, they disappear. So either you succeed in that 1 round of combat, or you don't. Here, like, it's just a gold pot. You roll 1 die on a 3 or more, you get 1 gold coin for that, for your trouble. Here is a trap, a rabbit trap. You'll roll a die and maybe you'll take a little bit of damage. So it is like a random thing. You can find, like, here's a potion of mana. You receive 1 mana, so hopefully you've used some of your skills already because you can't go above 8. But you get a mana back just for wandering through the forest or whatever. So there's all kinds of cool things that you have, and sometimes it's just something boring as well, like the empty road. As you make your uneventful trek through the forest, you can't help but wonder if your journey is supposed to be this easy. Then you discard the card. So that's all it is. But it is dangerous, obviously, to go into the forest. But I kind of like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Talisman. Just kind of, okay, go here, draw a card. Hopefully nothing bad happens or whatever. So there you go. But in a nutshell, that's how the game is played. You're going to go through that whole process, like I said, the 3 different phases. You're going to use the different skills and different abilities of each one of your heroes. You're going to be moving them around the board. You're going to be, and you can't forget about your creeps. I mean, your creeps, they seem boring, because they just move forward and die a lot. But by and large, those are the ones that are going to make the player, your opponent, feel that sense of impending doom as they're getting closer and getting ready to tear down the different buildings they have. And so obviously the heroes are flashy and they have a lot of power, but you can't also just race them out there to get killed, because gold, the resource gold is king in this game. And when you have more gold, you're able to get your special creeps out, you're able to get these cool items and whatever. And so you want to make sure that you are being you want to be bold, I guess is what I'm saying, but you don't want to be reckless, if you will. So there you go. So okay, there you go. You should have a really good idea of how Load is played. I tried to show you as many of the miniatures as I possibly could. Probably spent a lot of time on those. I apologize for that. But the game is fantastic as far as what it is. You know, I mean, it manages to have things that I really like in games like this. Really cool miniatures, lots of variable player powers, lots of different abilities, lots of different things that, you know, work in conjunction with each other. And also, it kind of sums itself up in an hour or so. It isn't a game that is going to take a long time. This isn't going to be a slog. This is a very brutal dice fest, and I'm a big fan of that type of game. So, but let me talk more about all of that with my final thoughts. Oh, okay. There you go. That is Load. As I said, you know, the rules are very straightforward, and they tend to be with this type of game. You can muddy up the waters a little bit with as far as the different towers or the different spawn points, and just kind of monkey with the different strategic points or whatever. I mean, this game has that cool thing with the forests and with all the different cards that you pull, and the very variable different equipment that you can pull and buy for each one of your heroes. Now, one of the things that I really liked about this game is the fact that you had to balance, because gold is like in these games, these mobile games, the gold is the really important item. You know, obviously, your heroes are like your important units, but gold funds your team. If you don't have gold, you can't purchase equipment. If you don't have gold, you can't purchase extra special creepers. I mean, there's just but the cool thing about the gold is that that I really like about this is that each hero gains their gold separately. So like it isn't a communal pot. You know, each hero is going to collect gold from, like, they get one every turn, but they're going to collect gold by moving through the forest and killing creatures or killing enemy creeps, or, you know, knocking out other opponents' heroes. And, you know, you might really desperately want some super cool, awesome weapon for one of your heroes, but if they don't earn the gold to buy it, they're not going to get it, and so you might end up giving it to another, you know, hero that, you know, you wish that you get it just so your opponent doesn't have it, but maybe it just the weapon or the item doesn't really suit, you know, that particular player. And there's going to be times too where it's just like you're going to buy a really good item for one of your heroes, and then the next tile that gets drawn for the next item, you're like, oh, that one's like so much better, I should have saved my gold, or what have you. So there's cool things like that, but it's a very tricky balancing act that you have to do between the equipment and also you know, the special creeps. Because remember, like I said, it's like the creeps are boring, but they're extremely important. You know, if the creeps aren't there to take the hits, you know, your heroes are going to die. You don't want to leave a hero just standing around by themselves. That nothing says, please come over here and murder me, like that. You want they have to be moving with the creeps or in the spawns of creeps, so those creeps can take the hits to begin with. And so, you know, it's that buffer zone. And so there's a method to the madness here, and that it is a game that kind of rewards repeated plays, because you're gonna build those tactics and build those strategies as you play. Now, obviously, like I said, the miniatures are absolutely beautiful. They are amazing, and like I said, I was stunned when I found out that these weren't resin. I mean, like, you know, and for those who don't understand what I'm saying, a lot of times, like, the initial miniatures that will come will be of a sharper, more brittle plastic, resin, and so then, like, the detail of each mini will be very high. But you know, they but like I said, they're brittle, and it's like it's not a real cost-effective way to create miniatures. So then when they actually, like, mass produce the miniatures, they go to kind of a softer plastic, and you lose a little, you gain some durability, but you lose a little bit of the fine detail of the minis. So, but these, you know, once again, it's like you have the, like, here's this cool tree golem guy. I love this dude. You know, you have the very fine details and, like, very sharp, pointy things, like you can actually feel it. But it also, I memean, they wiggle, you know, and I mean, I'm not going to tear at them because I could break this if I really wanted to. You can tell, but you can feel that it's just, it has a little bit of the give, and it's I don't feel like I've had to, like, you know, almost not touch it. With resin miniatures, I've dropped them on a wooden floor and I've seen them shatter. So I mean, and I don't, that doesn't happen with these. So I know because I dropped them on the floor. But anyway, so miniatures are beautiful. Really check those out. And if you like MOBA games and you know, this type of game, I think you're really gonna like and enjoy Load. So there you go. If you have any questions or comments about the game, I welcome each and every one of them. Just go ahead and contact me and ask away. I'll try to answer those to the best of my ability. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, I am the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. All right, bye bye.